are listening to Single Smart Female, Romantic Fairy Godmama Edition. Today's show is sponsored by thecouragekit.com. Are you tired of meeting craptastic men, going on craptastic dates, and feeling craptastically inept at dating and love? Let me rework your dating experiences, single lady. Fun, pleasure, and magic included. No experience required. I'll see you at thecouragekit.com. Hey, single smart female, Jen here, romantic fairy godmama, just for you and to all the single smart females around this great, big, beautiful world. Today's topic, what does it mean when he goes MIA? So, let's be honest. Majority of women have Googled this at some point in time, and we are going to talk today about the different reasons men go MIA and what it means for you. But before we get there, I want to remind all of you ladies, if you don't know, my now husband, used to go MIA for sometimes 5 weeks at a time. It was interesting. It was very interesting. And most dating professionals will tell you to just stay away from those men. And I'm going to tell you that you don't necessarily have to, because things can turn around when you follow my magical dating method of Mantourage dating, which is dating more than one man at a time until you meet your forever man or indefinitely lover girl if you so choose. But let's go ahead. Let's dive into this a little bit and let's see what's going on here. So let's again talk about first, we're going to talk about the reasons why men go MIA. And the number one reason is that he's busy. He's got things on his plate that are very pressing, especially if you've been spending a lot of time together. We're very good at when a guy wants our time, we give it to them. We will stay up all night. We'll spend days on end. He's all excited about us, and he just needs to catch up on things. And guys are most of the time a lot better at catching up on things than we do. We'll keep putting our things off. So I'm going to suggest, first off, is always assume that it's probably because he's really busy and that you've got stuff. Because you're a single, smart female, you've got priorities too, and you can use this as an opportunity to focus on them. Okay, number two reason. He's overwhelmed or he's depressed or he's had something catastrophic happen. So this can include being sick. Good guys, my favorite types of guys, aren't going to, especially in the beginning, they're not going to burden you with their sickness, things like that. They don't want to be seen as weak at the beginning. And I know all of us women are like, oh, if they would just tell us our feelings, it'd all be okay. No, let him be this way for now. Things will change at some point and he will open up to you more if you allow him to, and not have to press on him to let you take care of him. Okay, you're not necessarily going to win his affection in the beginning. So yes, he might be very overwhelmed with, maybe there's a whole bunch of shit going down at work. You know what that feels like. He might be down. Maybe something happened in his life. Maybe he lost a parent. Maybe maybe things are just falling apart. There could even be a financial component if he's going through a hard financial mess. It's not necessarily a bad sign that a guy pulls away from you. I know at one point my husband was low on funds and he didn't want to ask me out. This was before, when we were initially dating, and he didn't want to ask me out if he couldn't pay for me. That's okay, but he didn't want to tell me that. And I think it's okay that he doesn't have to disclose everything at the beginning, especially if it was kind of hard on his ego. And I think we women should be a lot more accepting of the fact that it doesn't mean something horrible just because he's not right there telling us. Number third reason, is that he is possibly talking to other women. Yes, that is a possibility. And if you're Mantourage dating, you should be talking to other men, so this part doesn't drive you crazy. By the way, he may not be talking to other women, but I always would assume, just for my head, that they were, so that I wouldn't get caught up in the trying to figure it out if they are, and cyber stalking them, and what's also called cyber cutting, when we're going on their page all the time just to make ourselves feel bad, trying to figure everything out. Just assume that he is. So, you might be pleasantly surprised that he's not, but you're not going to be devastated if he is, right? Just assume. It's okay to assume that, especially if you're not in an exclusive relationship, which you shouldn't be at this point yet, okay? Number 4, he needs a breather from the intensity of the two of you being together. So I kind of associated this or talked about this a little bit in the first one. Especially if you guys have spent an immense amount of time together, if you've just gone on a short vacation together, something like that, he needs some time to breathe and decompress and digest all the goodness, all the amazing things that's happened. One of my favorite French courtesans from the 16th century. I can't remember if it's 16th or 17th century, so please forgive me. One of my favorite French courtesans, Ninon de L'Enclos, said, love often, of course I'm paraphrasing, love often dies of indigestion, not starvation. So ladies, if you had some intense moments with each other and he doesn't contact you right away, it doesn't mean everything, was for naught. It doesn't mean that he was just using you for sex. Just take a deep breath and turn your attention to the things that you've been neglecting. Because if you've been spending a lot of time with somebody, there's a good chance you've been neglecting other pieces of your life, your friends, your family, your work, your home. Take some time and turn your attention back to those things, okay? It'll help you not feel so frantic about all this and go into desperation about something you don't need to feel desperate about. So what is it exactly when a man does this, when he goes MIA? It's something that I call a man pause. And a man pause is when a man's communication pattern changes with you when you're dating as he considers your long-term potential. This is under no circumstances a reason to freak out. Why? Because you're playing in my world now. You are an adored woman. And as an adored woman who is mantourage dating, you're exploring your other options. So more importantly than what does this mean for him, we need to talk about what this really means for you, because that's what adored women do. We look at everything in our romantic life from a filter of what is this an opportunity for me? What do I get out of this? And you get a plethora of things. For instance, when my husband, when we were dating, used to go MIA, that gave me the opportunity to focus on the other talent in my mantourage. That was super important. To me, it signaled to me that I was either paying too much attention to him and not really exploring who I am romantically and starting to hyper-focus on him, or it also meant that I was neglecting pieces of my life that were really important to me. And it happened all the time. I'd start feeling a little crazy, a little out of sorts, and you know exactly what this feels like because you're neglecting those other pieces of your life. And that is the biggest and best opportunity for you to turn your attention there. The other piece is turning your attention. Maybe there's somebody else that's supposed to be coming into your life and you have your it's all about him goggles on. And when that happens, you energetically block possibly the man of your dreams out of your life just because you've already decided that the universe, your higher power, doesn't get a say in this. It only matters about what you think the right answer is. Here's the thing, ladies. This is really important. Take this in. Your higher power, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is behind the scenes conspiring to give you everything you want. We make that really difficult at times when we decide to give our undivided romantic attention to a man who is not there with us yet. So if he goes MIA, if he doesn't, by the way, this is a really important point here. And I hear women ask me all the time, I haven't heard from him in 3 days. Well, if you just spent 3 days nonstop with him, that's really not a big deal. If his communication pattern changed for 3 days, that's not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so that doesn't make him MIA. A few days does not make anybody MIA, even if they were consistently contacting you. So just take a deep breath and focus on the things that are important, the other things in your life that are important to you. So remember, this is about you. There's something going on with you that this opportunity is giving you time to address by this man going MIA on you. It's not the man pause, the MIA. It's not a reason to freak out. And I want you to know something else. So if you start questioning him about it, I'd actually refrain from questioning about it. Why? Because not all men are comfortable at the beginning talking about everything that's going on. Adored women, remember you're in my world now, respect that. Respect the fact they're not there yet instead of trying to force them to talk. The really cool part is that your respect actually makes him more likely to share with you in the future because you're not trying to drag it out of him. All right? Remember that. Take that in. Yes, I know we women, we want to be told everything, but sometimes in the beginning, it's better to leave things unsaid, especially if he's got a lot of things going on in his head. Let him, if he's going to be your man, let him make that choice himself. I don't want a man to ever feel forced into wanting me. I want him to want me because he can't imagine not being with me. Okay? He can't fathom a life that could be more fun than being with me. Not because I'm constantly asking him, what is this? What does this mean? Are you okay? That's another one, ladies. I know you want to reach out and ask him if he's okay. Yes, he's probably okay. There are very, very, very few instances where that's not the case. So let him step up and do this on his terms. You focus on the things that are important to you right now. And then, I know I just said do it on his terms. It actually ends up being more on your terms because you're establishing curiosity about what's going on. Because what I'll tell you most women do is they start pressing him. They want to know, where are you? What's going on? How, all of those things. And he feels a little backed up against the wall as he's trying to sort out his thoughts or trying to sort out a situation. And as soon as he has the opportunity to come up for a breath, he was going to contact you anyways. So take a deep breath. Remember, you have other talent in your mantourage it's time to focus on. And if you don't have anybody yet, it's time to find that talent. And I want you to go to helpmeonlinedate.com because I'm going to help you establish that talent the right way with online dating, which is the easiest way to meet high quality men if you know what you're doing online. Now, if you're thinking in your head, I hear horror stories all the time, or Jen, I've had a really bad experience with online dating. I'm going to guarantee you that has a lot to do with your profile and pictures. And I want to help you change that because I want you to set the right intention and I want you to set up the right path for creating dating experiences online that lead to offline love and romance. So it's not a haphazard thing. You don't put up a whatever profile. Whatever profiles suck really, really bad. And they draw in more of what you don't want than anything else. So go to helpmeonlinedate.com. I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters, video chapters of my program, my online dating program for free. So you have nothing to lose by going and trying out the first 2 chapters and seeing if this is something that is for you. Again, ladies, as we wrap up, what does it mean when he goes MIA? For him, it might mean he's busy, he's overwhelmed, he's down, he's talking to other women, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with talking to other women when you're not in an exclusive relationship because you want him to make you to be the best choice if he decides to choose you. Again, as you're an adored woman, why wouldn't he choose you? And you want to make sure he's your man too. So, number 4, he needs a breather from the intensity. We all need to digest sometimes. It is good to digest so we don't end up feeling overwhelmed and crappy about the experiences that we're having with somebody, like too much, too soon, too fast, all that stuff. Remember the man pause. It's when a man's communication pattern with you changes while dating, even if it's just for a couple of days. Don't freak out. He's considering your long-term potential. He's considering everything that's going on in his life and his love. Maybe he's even considering whether or not he's really good enough man for you. Those are things that men think about as well. But it's not, and I repeat, not a reason to freak out ever. So stop freaking out, ladies. Because remember, you're developing your talent in your mantourage. You're developing your magical dating experiences, your adventures that you're going to go on. You're going to feel more like a woman, a powerful woman than you ever have. And I'm going to help you start those by going to helpmeonlinedate.com. Thank you, Lover Girl, for joining me on this romantic fairy godmama edition of Single Smart Female. Don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, as well as visit me at singlesmartfemale.com. I'll talk to you next time, and here's to you having everything you want in life and love. Today's show is sponsored by thecouragekit.com. Are you tired of meeting craptastic men, going on craptastic dates, and feeling craptastically inept at dating and love? Let me rework your dating experiences, single lady. Fun, pleasure, and magic included. No experience required. I'll see you at thecouragekit.com.